as Africans, as black people in the world, we have a very unique, what we call brain chemistry, in terms of the location of some chemicals in our brain, the performance, the function of some chemicals in our brain, and of course the distribution. You see, so we having this unique brain chemistry also make us to perform unique brain functions. You see, very important. But these are things like, other races, especially those that are like scientists or researchers, like many of them that are from the West, they have taken advantage of, and they have robbed us for many years, which I'm going to share with you. You see, I'm going to share some of those things with you so you understand the evil many of these guys have done for us for many years. Now, let's talk about the substantia nigra, you see, which actually produce a lot of dopamine. So dopamine, it is a very important chemical in the brain. It serves very important functions. Now, depending on the location in the brain, of course, in substantia nigra it serves very important function like motor function, like I mentioned, motor functions. It serves regulatory functions, motivation, behavior, mood regulation, and all those very important functions, right? Now, when you look at another very important function of dopamine is a very, very crucial guy when it comes to like some things like mood, some things like reward, like judgment, like pleasure, which I'm going to explain shortly, and addiction. Now, here's the thing. Because of our unique brain chemistry, in which case we have lots of dopamine in our brain as Africans, like black people in the world, we have lots of dopamine in our brain. You see, starting from the brainstem to other parts of the brain, like the limbic system, where you have those very specialized circuits, like pleasure circuits, like reward circuits, like addiction circuits, and all these other things, PEG circuits, and all that. I will explain to you shortly. Now, dopamine, I said it's a lot in the brains of Africans. Very important. Now, you want to look at the functions of dopamine in our brain. What are the functions of dopamine in our brain? First of all, it is the reward function, the reward control function. Dopamine is extremely important for rewards. You see, actions and activities that make you seek reward or that gives you reward, dopamine actually, triggers you to perform those actions. Have you ever thought times when you maybe, for example, maybe you did something, or maybe you had a particular food and it was like so top notch, and then you love the food. You see, that craving for the food is done by dopamine. That desire, like, oh, I want to eat this food again, I want to go there again. Maybe you had an event or you did something that was so pleasurable. Maybe you had sex and it was so sweet, and like, oh man, I want to have it again. You see, that is dopamine. So first of all, the feeling of wanting something is dopamine, because any activity or any action that gives you reward, any reward giving action will always be triggered by dopamine. So dopamine always make you feel like, oh, you want to take something again, you want to do something again. That is dopamine. Now, not just making you to have the feeling of wanting something, but also the feeling that you get, the feeling of feeling good. Feeling good also is dopamine. You see that? So dopamine doesn't only just make you want something, it also make you feel good with it. Now, I'm going somewhere. Now, it makes you feel good together with other hormones, other chemicals in the brain, like serotonin, like norepinephrine, like acetylcholine, like oxytocin, like enkephalins, like endorphins. Those are feeling good hormones in the brain, right? Together with dopamine. So those guys actually make you feel good. And then dopamine is very strong in making you wanting an action that will give you a reward, and also in making you feel good for doing that action, you see, which now makes dopamine to now be implicated in addiction. That is now the tricky part, you see, because dopamine is so strong in making you to want something and then also give you the feeling good, expression when you now perform the action. So it get involved in reinforcing the action to make you keep doing it, and then when you keep doing it, then you keep getting results of feeling good. That is addiction. And what you see with a lot of Africans or black people is that we are naturally, because of this high dopamine level that we have in our brains, so when we get anything addicted, we become even highly addicted to those things than many other races in the world. I tell you, this is a very, very important secret that many people don't know in the world. It's only very few researchers that know all these things. And for those that are very evil and wicked among them, that is what they have also done to keep Africa in that, colonize that demonic state. I'm going to share that with you shortly. So what you see with that, okay, when you see many of our people, our young people taking drugs, addictive drugs, and then before you know, they get so addicted to those things that they cannot do without those things anymore. They cannot do without them. Like, you see, you wonder why we are like, when you go to any community, black neighborhood, it's all about drugs. Anything drugs is black people in the world. Drugs is drugs. Why? Because of this addiction thing. Because of our brain chemistry. Because naturally we have dopamine, and dopamine is so strong with addiction. So yes, so the moment you take any addictive substance, dopamine just shoots up. When it surges, then it just automatically keep reproducing and making you feel more that you want to have the thing more. So the feeling of, okay, I want it more, and as you keep having it more, you keep getting desensitized. So which means the more you're having it, the less feeling you're having, and then the more you want to have it, the less feeling you're having, and the more you want to have it, the less. That is the addiction. So it is reinforcing. At the same time, it is also desensitizing your system, and it's increasing the level, the amount of the substance that you're putting into your body to make you have the same feeling. So that's what eventually kills many people. Because yes, when people get addicted to drugs, after a while, they kill themselves. They get overdosed, and then they die. Do you know that today, as at the recent statistics, that black people in the US, they have the highest number of people that die from drugs. They are the most addicted people in the US, and those that die by drugs, like drug, like death from drugs. See, the highest rate is among the blacks in the US. Can you imagine that? Among the blacks. Because of this overdose. Because naturally we have dopamine, and the moment we take anything of all this addictive substance, then we get addicted easily. And that is the moment you get hooked, you're trapped. That is it. You just keep taking those things, and then so when you wonder why from many of our people, like you see a lot of our people in African neighborhood, in those US, the way they push in drugs, like they push in drugs. When you go to any black neighborhood in all these Western countries, go to black neighborhood, you see them pushing drugs into their neighborhood. Like, it's very cheap, like get drug, because they want to get you addicted to those things. And when you're addicted, then they get you hooked. And then you keep taking the drug, taking the drugs till you get overdosed and die of these things. You see what these guys are doing to us? Because they are intentional with their actions. It's not like, it just happened. No. They are very intentional with what they're doing. Because yes, they have delineated, you see, our brain structure, and they know that, we have lots of dopamine in our brain. Because they know the uniqueness of African brains from their own brain. Yes, you see, because it has an advantage. It has a lot of advantages that we're supposed to capitalize on. But then these guys are using, they are twisting it, and they are using it against us. So what you see, like the other time you saw, like in Nigeria, imagine the UK pumping in over 10 million tons of drugs to the country. Can you imagine that? Pumping in over 10 million tons of drugs. More than 6.5 billion naira in the currency. They pump into the country. Can you imagine that? You wonder what they are using with these drugs. They are giving the youth to taking the drugs. So they get so addicted to the drugs, and then they become criminals, and then they give them guns. Give them guns. They are going to be killing, go and be kidnapping, go and be doing armed robbery, go and be doing. You wonder why we have so many crimes in our society today among Africans. Why we have so many people who are behaving like animals. And what you see with this, let me tell you something. What you see with this addiction is, you see, the moment you are addicted, the moment dopamine just make you get addicted, because now it just switch it on. You see, in that reward circuit, the moment you are addicted, that reward circuit will now become so reinforced that it now reduces the signals that get into what we call your prefrontal cortex of your brain. Now, the prefrontal cortex of your brain is that part of your brain that regulates your judgments, your executive functions, your ability to think well as a human being, to reason. So which means what? When the moment you are addicted, then your reasoning ability, then your thinking ability, then your judgment becomes reduced and become lowered like animals. So you wonder why many of our young people are behaving like animals. Why they cannot think anymore. They cannot even see their fellow man and say, oh man, you should have value for life. No, they cannot have value for life because they cannot think. Because they see humans like animals. So yeah, when they give them guns, they go and kill other people. So it's easier for them to kill their fellow human beings. You see? Armed robbers. That's their intention. They get you addicted with drugs. They get addicted with drugs, and then they get you hooked, and that is it. I say anywhere in the world, go anywhere in the world when drugs is equal to blacks. And you know these things. Say, Africans, blacks, drugs. Can you imagine what is this? Go to all these European countries, any drugs, blacks, drugs. Because these guys know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They want to keep pushing these things to us. Because they, oh well, let's just pollute their mind. Let's just destroy their brains. Let's get them trapped. Because once we are trapped, that is it. That's why you see many of our people that it's very hard for them to come out of these things. Very hard. Because it's not easy. Like when you get addicted to these things, it's very hard to come out of it. Very hard. But I say we're going to come out. I say we're going to come out by our support, you see, by giving support to the people. If you have anybody around you that is going through that, please support them, help them, and pray for them. Very importantly, like these demonic chains must be broken, must be destroyed. That these demons that are vowed to destroy our future, that they must be punished, they must be eliminated, they must be put under God's judgment. These demons, I said, these guys mean so much evil for us. You don't understand. They mean so much evil for us. They say they just come, they smile at us. Oh, they are smiling, they are laughing. Oh, they are laughing at your graveyard. They are looking at you and say, oh, they are looking at your pits. And they come, give you guns, give you drugs. You think they are helping you or whatever. Or they brought you to their country and then they give you whatever they are giving you, and they tell you to come and do this with them, come and do that with them. And they think they are helping you. Like, no, they're not helping us. These are demons, and we're putting them under curse and judgment of God because they have done so much evil to us, to Africans. Look at us. That's why you see many of our people are not productive. They're not effective. You see, many have become so drug addicts. Look at the US. Many of the black people. Many are just addicted to drugs. You know, drugs, nicotine, cigarettes, alcoholism. Because the point is, the moment you're addicted to something, that is the problem. The same thing with sex. The moment when you're addicted, see, black people, the moment you're addicted to something, that is the thing. You are hooked. You're hooked unless you really fight hard and with the support of people around you to get you liberated from these demonic hooks. And by God's grace, I'm gonna, I'm working on a project where we're gonna help a lot of our people to come out of this lot of addictions, because it's very hard. When someone is addicted to something, to come out of it is very hard. I tell you, it's very hard. But they're gonna come out. I believe they're gonna come out. You see, by this awareness that we're creating among ourselves and giving all this information, that we need to, it's high time we stop these demons, these agents of darkness, from perpetrating their evil works on our continent and our people. That when you even get to a place when you're seeing them spreading all these drugs, spreading all these things, it's important that we create awareness among our people. Like, do you know what these guys are causing you? Do you know they are just setting trap for you? And once you're trapped, that is it. You don't want to allow that. You want to stop this evil and wickedness. That's why we say, even as we're taking actions, as there's, rising, creating this awareness, we are also fighting the battle spiritually. We are putting these demons, this evil agents, we are putting them under God's judgment. Let them be eliminated. These demons, let them get off our back. Get them off our back. They must be eliminated from our lives, because as far as they are there, they don't mean anything good for us. And I say their time is up. I say their time is up. These demons, their time is up. Because Africa is on its path of progress and development, and nothing will ever stop us. Please, we'll continue this discussion. We've not finished yet. In fact, we're just even starting. Dopamine, you have no idea. This dopamine guy has a lot of very important functions I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to tell you the positive aspects, like the very important thing that's supposed to be in our brains. When you also wonder why we have so many intelligent black people in the world, it's also the dopamine. It's also the dopamine. I will tell you more about dopamine, you see, because it's such a unique chemical in our brain, and because we have lots of it now. So these guys are now using it against us. They're now twisting the functions and now using it to do so much harm and evil in our system. But I say their time is up. Yes. So please like and share this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.